Welcome to episode 11 of Curious Conversations. We have a very exciting guest on. We have Mr Kristian Hill on, who is currently my coach. He's been coaching me for the last couple of months and I've learned a lot from him. Myself and Aiden have been out for lunch with him just there, and a lot of wisdom like from a guy.
So much things from just that conversation that we had there.
What did you take away?
I just took away like the kind of whole, like, us talking about the client and stuff like that, thinking about things like looking inside instead of like trying to figure out, oh, it's the split I'm on, or it's the current diet that I'm trying to work around, like things like that. Just making people understand that it's you that you need to focus on instead of all these other kind of outside things. That makes sense.
My cousin was, he's starting out as a coach, I was mentioning that before, and he was like he was asking me questions about it. I went, mate, stop fucking talking about training. It's not about training, mate. And he was like, what? That's like, it's not a training problem. They've not got a training problem. I was like, it comes about training further down the line, man. It is always about training as a vehicle. Do you know what I mean? But like, it's always a you problem, man.
Totally.
Always.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that drew me to you the most, was your content around like how it's all to do with your own identity and holding the mirror up to yourself pretty much. And I'm sure we'll go into quite a bit of that today. But the first thing myself and Aiden wanted to dive into was your Keltman experience.
Yeah.
Can you firstly lay out what it is?
Yeah.
And then we'll go into your experience of what actually is the Keltman.
Yeah. So it's funny because I've not done. I'm a pure novice at triathlon, by the way, and I've not touched that. I sold my bike. I've not swam since the Keltman. So I feel like a fraud talking about it, but. It's a extreme triathlon, so it's like it's an Ironman, an iron distance triathlon, but it's just like a bit more spiced up. So there's more elevation in it. The water's like more cold, and everything's just a bit more extreme than what a normal Ironman would be. And then an Ironman is a 3.8k swim into a 185 kilometer cycle, into 180 kilometer cycle into a 42k run. And then you basically do them back to back. But the Keltman it's actually a 3.4k swim, so it's actually slightly less than the swim, but it's in an open lock, so it's like really cold. Right. And it's like, I actually done it on a really smooth day. And I was actually talking to someone about this recently. I was like, I wouldn't have been able to do it if it was choppy, because I didn't train in the sea. First ever sea swim was the Keltman. So like there's lots of jellyfish and stuff in it. The water's like, I think the water's like 8 degrees. So it's fucking freezing. You've got like gloves on and everything when you're swimming. And then the bike's 200k, so the bike's further than a normal Ironman, but the bike's very hilly. There's like a lot, I can't even remember the amount of elevation. The bike that I done, the cycle at the Keltman, I would say was harder than the first ever Ironman I done, just the cycle. Like it's 125 miles and the wind was just battering you. Like there was a stretch road that was like, not a single stretch road, but you were going like sort of, where was it? Was it southbound, or I think it was like the way the road, I imagine it was like southbound, but that full direction of like 50 miles was a headwind. Like it was demoralising. It was like one of the hardest things I've ever done, that cycle. Yeah. And it was just like mental torture.
How long was that segment, just the bike alone?
The bike was 9 hours. So
it's the 3k swim that scares me the most. I'm like,
it's weird because I was terrified of swimming initially, and then I signed up to my first Ironman in 2020 and I couldn't swim. And then I just taught myself to swim. I could go in the water and swim about and stuff, but like I couldn't actually formally like front crawl and do it for any period of time. So even just putting your head under the water and learning to breathe was all new to me. So, and I was scared of water, so that was a big thing for me, like going, right, I want to do this, to go and embrace like a big fear. And I'd always thought like Ironman was quite a cool thing. You know what I mean? Like it's quite a like prestigious thing to be able to do one. So when I done the first Ironman in 2021, the Keltman was always on the cards, because the Keltman was like this, like I'd watched the documentaries before that you were saying, and I was always like, oh, that's so cool. That's so like, something like that is like amazing. So doing that was, it was awesome. Then the run at the end's over a mountain. So it's over, I know, so it's a casual. And I done the low course, there's a cut-off time. Right. So you have to make it to, I can't remember that, it's not fresh in my mind anymore, but if you don't make it to a certain point by a certain time, they don't allow you to go up the high course, because that you could go up there and you could get stranded up there, and it could be dark and there could be weather. It's basically the mountaineers that decide this. Like, you're not allowed to go up there. So like you read the topography of the low one, but it's the most misleading name ever, low. It's not low. Like it's like up a mountain. Like it's just not as high as the other one. So You do that, and then you come off at the end, and it's a big day out, man. It was like 16 hours it took, man.
I was going to say, so the bike took 9 hours and it's 16 hours all in.
Yeah, so the marathon at the end was whatever the maths is for that. It was like 5 hours or something, man, for the marathon at the end. So it was brutal.
So it's a full waking day.
Full day, man, and then you've got a support crew. It's such a good day. Like it's weirdly it's one of the best weekends of my life, man. Like because it was just like you're there with your family, your people. Like you have to have a support team. You have to do it not self-sufficient. But you have to. There's no aid stops. There's only an aid stop at the run where you have to go up the mountain. There's a bit of the run that you have to get to, and then that's the cut-off point.
Yeah.
And that's it. Like there's no fuel or anything like that. Now you have to.
So you need to have all of it on you?
You have it. That's why you have a support vehicle. So they have to. The loop is 200 kilometers around the NC 500. So it's like part of the NC 500. So you have to do the full thing, and then you have to have all the kit on you for the run as well. So they stop and they check that because you're going up in the mountain. They have to check like you've got all the stuff in the kit list, and if you don't, they won't let you up. So it's a serious race, man. Like it's good. So it's definitely like you're like the fear you feel going into something like that's mad.
Yeah, I can
like you go into it, and in the morning it's like they do this really famous thing every time they light the big Celtman. Like so, I've got the Celtman tattoo on my leg.
Oh, class.
And that's the Celtman sort of Gaelic symbol.
Yeah.
And they light it on fire, and it's like 4:30 in the morning, man. And it's like this big fire up they've got there, and it's light. Because it's like that part of the world in summer, like it doesn't get dark for very long. The sun is like actually up, it's like light, and it's like 4:30 in the morning, man, and they've got this like big Gaelic band out battering the drums and everything, and there's a big fire on, and it's fierce, man. Like it's like, and you get in the water and it's fucking freezing, and you're just like, what am I doing? Like, what am I doing, man? So it's good. Like it was good. Like, I think what's always attracted me to those things, man, is I think it's like a rite of passage. It's like a really like it really is like you have to really work for it. Like you can't. There's things that people do now and they do them, and like they fucking skim the training for it, and then they go around it in the day. Then they wear it. Oh, I done a marathon. Do you know what I mean? Like it's like you can't be stood in the line for that and have not done the work.
You can't hide from that certain type of work.
You would not be able to do it. Yeah. Like you would like. Someone that was relatively fit could probably fucking go around it and have a very bad day doing it. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, you would be able to do it, but you'd be like, this is the worst fucking thing ever. Why am I here? Like, you know what I mean? And then you might not be psychologically ready to go around it. Like, you need to do a big training block for it, man. And you need to be like, just ready to go for it, man. But it's weird because you meet folk and it's like, it sounds like dead fierce, and you see like a fucking old lady going around it. But she just loves it. They just love it. Like
she
just.
You.
I did, mate. There was a guy that went round. I can't remember his name. Really nice guy, and he was in his 70s going around it. He was at the same point as me. Like the same. Like I was 29 at the time. Like sitting 29 years old in the prime of fitness. Man, there's a 70-year-old guy going by me. But seasoned athletes, man. Do you know what I mean? What they do and like they live and breathe it. And it's just like anything. Like if you do anything, there's gonna be you don't have to be a certain calibre of person, you just have to want that thing and be willing to do the work. So it's opened my eyes up to like when folk are always like, oh, it's all athletes that do that. Like I'm like, no, it's not. It's just fucking normal people that want to do it. Yeah. That's it. Like it's not like people think everyone's like an elite athlete. It's like you go to a 10k, yeah, there'll be the 30-minute 10k runners, but there's also the 60-minute 10k runners there. Do you know what I mean? Like it's a bit more extreme than a 10k, but like you have to do a lot of training. But it's that's what I like about things like that, is that you cannot hide for them, man.
Yeah,
they just chew you up and spit you out, man.
Yeah,
it's good.
That's one thing that I remember you saying to me about is it 1% of people do an Ironman, but then an extreme.
Yeah, it's like outrageous,
it's like
man.
0.0 something.
Yeah, it's outrageous, man. So you're in like the uncommon amongst the uncommon amongst the uncommon. They only have like so many folk that can do it as well, because the place couldn't support. It's only a tiny place.
Yeah.
So it's what's the name of it again? It's I can't even remember the name of the town and stuff. Shieldig. That's where you set off from. Then you go into Torridon. It's beautiful, man. It's an amazing place, but the roads just aren't like. See, because there's 200 and something participants. And everyone has to have a support crew.
Yeah.
So think about how many people that is. Then you have to have the people that manage it. That's like probably well over 1,000 people in this tiny place. It doesn't even have 1,000 people in it.
Right.
Like it's like, so they can't. The infrastructure's not big enough for like. The town hall's not big enough to host that many folk. So it's like, it's such an amazing race. Like it's that And there's people there that you go and they wear red t-shirts, and they're like the elders. They've done 5. So they've done 5 Keltmans, red t-shirts, yeah, they've done 5 Keltman. And then there's like the Keltman winners, man. So like, I went around it in 16 hours, the winner done it in like 10 and a half, 11 hours. So
that's crazy.
something like that. It was outrageous. So that gives you an idea of like so an Ironman compared to it. There's people doing Ironman, the top athletes, right? They're doing it in like, I think it's like, what is it, like 6 hours, 7 hours for a full Ironman, right? This guy is like an elite athlete. It takes them 10 and a half.
Yeah.
That just puts it in perspective, like the difference between that and an
Ironman.
Ironman. That's a really good way to probably describe because folk will be like, oh, that's not as far in the swim, or like you're like, yeah, but it's an extreme triathlon, so it's that kind of gives you an idea of like the standard, like of it as well. So like the guy doing it top is doing it 3.5 hours slower than what someone would do like Copenhagen, or like a more flat, still an Ironman. I'm not taking away from them, like it's an Ironman, like it's insane, like it's, and I don't want anyone to think like, oh, he's going, that's easy. It's fucking not easy. Same with like with marathons, folk will say things to me, oh, you've done that'll be easy. I'm like, it's a marathon. I'm like, it's a fucking marathon. Like, I'm not going around it like this is easy. Like, no one does that. No. Like Eliud Kipchoge that ran the Tour Marathon doesn't, because he's a good marathoner, doesn't mean he finds it easy. Like, it's a marathon, like it's crazy. So the Keltmans, it's mad. It's a mad experience, man.
Yeah,
it's a cool thing.
So cool. That kind of leads into the next thing I want to ask you about, and that's, I'm sure you said to me that you almost feel like you're obsessed with progress. Yeah, like that's something that you like identify with. What is your reasoning behind that? Like, what is it? What's the driver for constant progress all the time?
I don't know, man. Like, I don't really know. Sometimes we were talking about it before, like why you are the way you are and stuff. And like growing up, I wasn't like super ambitious and stuff, but I think like I just kind of realised some things from like an age. What I've realised coaching is that people don't really realise these things as soon. So I just kind of started to kind of go like, I questioned a lot more things from like a younger age, like. And I met a lot of folk now, especially like-minded coaches that have had similar realisations, hence why they're pursuing what they're doing or they wanted to make change. But like, I remember just kind of going like why is life drawn out the way it's drawn out? Like in the sense like, why do you have to do things a certain way? Why do you have to get a pension? Why do you have to just go and do that job? Why? And I remember just, because I was brought up like that, because my parents were like, go and get a safe job, go and do this, go and do that. And I'm not making it about a job, but like, and I remember just like really being like so, what I call the story, like the narrative that you follow, and then like being like really sad about it, like just starting to live my life in a way that was like, this isn't good for me, man. I don't feel good right now. Like I was living for the weekend a lot more, and then I think for me it was just like, I started to see, and this didn't happen overnight, by the way, it's like just something that happened over a long period of time, my full 20s, having these realisations, and just kind of realising that I wasn't really being true to myself for like what I wanted, what I was doing. I was just unhappy, like going like looking at other people doing things and going, I could do that, why am I not doing that? Like, why am I not like I look at my lifestyle now, and I would have looked at a guy like me going, I'm capable of doing that, why am I not doing it? And I used to get that feeling all the time. And then like the more I done it, the more I was like, oh well, the unlock to live like that is just always pushing progress, like always. And then the more I've done things, I've realised that I value progress so much, because when I'm not pushing progress, I don't feel happy. Now I know folk would go, that's a bit extreme, but like I feel like I'm drowning when I'm not. And I know that's like, I'm not saying that's a healthy thing, an unhealthy thing, but like, and I've learned how to balance it in a way that's like, it doesn't have to be relentless progress, but like, see that, let's say for example, if I've got an injury right now and I just kind of bowed down to it and was like, oh, that's the way it is, I can't do this. And at the same time, I don't know, we've just grew the team in our business and ready for anything, but then I just decided to stop doing like certain things that were growing the business, and I stopped chasing things that was making our clients step up, and I just feel like I'm dying. I just feel like I'm in it. It's almost like a bit of a curse, because then you then have to go, well, I can't, like, and this is what I fell victim to before, like it's almost like if you're then not doing that, it's like an addict, like where they're like, they drink, but every time they drink it gets more and more intense. Yeah. What I probably fell into a couple of years ago is I was trying to, everything had to be better than what it was, but now it's not like that. Now it's like just progress. I've realised that like the thing that keeps me sane is like, well, how can I push progress? Because I've realised over the years of doing loads of different things, there's lots of uncontrollables. So there is going to be points where things stagnate, there is going to be points when you get injuries, there is going to be points where you go through spells or something else happens that takes a priority. You can't keep operating at that 100% person. So the way that I've kind of flipped it is like, I've realised that it's not that I value the thing, it's that I value progress. So then it's like, it's almost became like my sort of mantra is like, well, how can I push progress? Like, is this a productive conversation right now that I'm having? Or like if I'm having a recurring conversation in my head, or even if me and Ailey have a wee fallout and argue with each other, there's a minute in my head going, I'm actually playing out. There's no point in even letting this go longer. There's no point in us storming into our room. There's no point in us like, because it's unproductive. It's like, it's not going to do anything. And my mind's even going like that, well, you're not going to break up with her, so like, why would you even like I'm playing out these things all the time, and it's always like, it's like my mind's got to a point where it's like, even when I done things recently, I fucked up that flight and cost myself like £1,500. I really wanted to feel sorry for myself. I really wanted to, but I couldn't. Like I genuinely was like I did feel sorry for myself, and I wanted it to last. Do you know what I mean? I actually wanted to sulk.
Yeah.
I wanted to sulk longer than I needed to, but I couldn't, because I was like, because I'm doing it deliberately. If I'm doing that, I was talking to someone about this the other day, and they were like, I can relate, because I was having this chat with someone, and they were saying, I just want to take a day off so folk ask me if I'm alright. And I was like, I can relate to that. Like, I just want to, and I'm happy and content doing that, but I've just realised that like, for the life that I'm living, the way that I'm drawing my own line in the sand, so there's not many folk that I can ask, what do you do there? There is folk I can ask, that's why I've got coaches and mentors and stuff. Like, when you live like that, you have to find your own strategies to cope with things. And for me, like, if I can still make progress, it keeps me sane. Because I've found in so many times where I'm pushing so many different things, when the uncontrollables ultimately happen, I start to feel out of control. Do you get me? Because I'm like drawing my own line in the sand all the time, and then someone's like, you can't do this, can't do that, can't do this, and I'm like, this is fucking annoying. Why is this happening? And then like years of doing that's just taught me like, what can I do? And it's not like controlling the uncontrollables, it's like, it's control the controllables, but it's like to the point where it's like, it's not even that, it's just like, well, where can I still push it? You know what I mean? And that's paid dividends, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because when you don't, you fight against yourself.
Yeah. And I would push back on, or go back to something that you mentioned a wee second ago, and it was like, you were seeing people like doing things that you weren't doing, and you were like, I can do that, like, why can I not do that? I want to tap into something that I noticed in you, and that's self-belief. That's something that you believe in yourself. You push things. Even the Keltman that we talked about there, like, a lot of people would look at that and think, I can't do that, I can't do the work. The kind of self-belief that you have, how have you built that over the years? Is it just from showing up? From
Having no belief.
Having no belief.
Always putting yourself in situations where you question everything about yourself. Yeah. That's where you build belief. That's where you stack evidence. Is like where you're always in the bit. Because even though I have belief, I'm doing things right now where I don't believe it. Well, there's things that I'm doubting in myself right now. So although I believe, there's loads of things that I doubt about myself right now. So I'm pretty crippled with like lack of belief, believe it or not. You know what I mean? Like I still experience that all the time, but like belief comes from doing things that you don't believe you can do. And then like you just keep stacking it more and more. That's
you trying to rectify your self-doubt almost.
Yeah.
You're trying to you're in that situation where you don't believe in yourself, so you want to change that.
Yeah, I seen some, it was Layla Hormozy, Alex Hormozy's wife, wrote something yesterday saying, can we stop calling it imposter syndrome and can we start just calling it a lack of experience? And it's so true. It's like, folk, I feel like an imposter right now. It's like, well, you've never done it.
Right, it's because you don't know what you're doing.
You don't know what you're doing. Like, that's why you feel like an imposter. Like, you don't know what you're doing. And the more you put yourself in situations, and the more you go, oh, I'm in that bit again where I don't really know where I'm at or what's going on or who I need to be or, oh, this is interesting. Do you know what I mean? And you're always in it. And it's like the more you do that, the more you realise the value in doing that. Do you know what I mean? All the time. Yeah. And it's like, that's what I mean about the danger zone of like you become almost, it's not that you're addicted to that, but you fear not growing. You fear complacency. And you have to get the line right of like complacency and being content. And that, like, it's because sometimes you think you're being complacent, but you're not. You're not being complacent. There's nothing, and that's what even you were asking me earlier. Like last year, if you asked me, you were like, "What are you training towards right now?" And I was just like, "Nothing." Like, and I was like, "Because I need to train for nothing." Like, I've got an event at this weekend, but after that, you were like, I was like, "Nothing," because actually I've recognised that I need a bit of time doing nothing. Yeah. But like my ego would have previously went, "No, you can't not do nothing. Like you need to keep doing this because you've got this to prove." And I'm like, "No, I don't." Like. I know what I need to do, I know what I need to focus on, I think a lot of that comes from a lack of trust as well, man. If you don't trust yourself, you don't back yourself either, and you question a lot about yourself because of that. And I probably didn't trust myself for a long time. And the more you do that, the more you do. You can back yourself. You can go, nah, like, I can do that. And yeah, that's where it comes from. It just comes from doing it more and more, and then how to get there. And you become more realistic about things as well. Like, you're like, I can do that, but it'll probably take me 2 years. Like, you'll be like, you're not just like, I can do that, and you think it's going to happen in 3 months. You're like, you just become a bit more like, it's a bonus if it happens before. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's just experience, isn't it?
It's just experience, yeah.
Yeah, and that's something we chat about a lot, is like, in terms of self-belief, injecting self-belief into the clients that you're coaching, members in here. And like, is that something that you have you said you always have a coach and a mentor? Is that so that because they can think bigger for you almost?
Yeah, mate, that's it. It's like they can see what you can't see, man. And it gets to a point where you start kind of pushing new limits that, like, you can't rely on just yourself being the only thing that's going to pull you out to there. Now, it doesn't have to be in the format of a coach. It could be who you surround yourself with. You were talking about earlier, like your friend circle, like when you grew up and like when you were training, that you were really, really like in a great spot, and that was a big driver for you. Like, I value being in proximity of people that are doing the thing that I don't know how to do. Like, I started working with a mentor recently, Darren Lee, at the start of the year. I met Darren in Bali a couple of years ago, but I really resonate with the guy because he's just from a working class background in Ireland, and he's doing very, very well. And like, I've got a lot of limiting beliefs, hence why there's been points of plateaus and different things where like, how do you go to the next level? And just having someone like that being able to just say, it's not even what they're saying to you, it's indirect. It's just subtle. It's like how folks say things. It's like even when I'm like having this like worried about something, they're like, just do this, and it's just so candid the way that they say it, and you're like, I know what to do that, but like, just the way that they've said that to you, candid, that you then go, well, I need to do that then, don't I? Because actually, why am I stressing about it, and they're not even bothered with it? Like, that is like it's almost like subtle. Like, I just value being around people that are like, they just take it in their stride, doing what you do. Same with like John. Like, John's an elite athlete, and I'm like, if I want to be really good at sport, I need to be around an elite athlete. You know what I mean? If I want to do that, and it's like, if I'm coaching folk to perform it, I need to make sure that I'm practicing it. So I think it's a lot of different reasons why it's like, because I need to, if I'm having folk invest into me heavily, I need to be investing heavily into other people. Like, it's almost hypocritical for me. And then like, we were talking about it yesterday in the podcast with like me and other RFA coaches, and we were just basically saying that like, this walking the walk thing is like, people misconstrue what walking the walk actually means. They think walking the walk's because they got lean 3 years ago. Yeah, like, it's like, as a coach, it's like, no, walking the walk is embodying what you coach.
Yeah.
And like, if you are embodying what you coach through like the same practices that you are preaching, that is practicing what you preach. So it's the implementation combined with the what you are doing, and when you're in it, you get it a lot more. So I think the thing I realised is that like, it gives me an unfair advantage because I'm willing to go through the processes what I'm putting my clients through. So I'm always in it. So I'm always living it. Whereas I see a lot of coaches that don't do that. They're not. They're just tolerating a lot of things that like, your clients are only as good as you are.
Would you say that makes it easier to kind of think about other like scenarios and fix like people's problems because you've kind of came across that problem before, so it makes it a little bit easier for you.
Yeah, 100%, man.
So
like, it makes me realise it. Like, I'm always putting myself through things that I get it, like I understand it, and then it puts me in a same playing field, so that I'm making sure that I'm going through what everyone's going through all the time. So, and I just value like growth and progress. So it's like, I know that like, if I can do that, like, for me, I don't see it as an investment anymore. I see it as like a necessary part of what I want to do. Just like someone having a car that they need to go to work. I'm like, well, for the type of life that I want, how I want to feel, how I want to think, how I want my life and my business to be, then I know that these things are going to be really, really big. What you were talking about earlier, behaviours. Yeah. Like, what are the behaviours that you embody? And I've just realised that. I was like, I'll probably just always do that, because it's like, it's not that like, it's not because I need it, it's because I want it. And there's a big difference between needing and wanting. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And that's some folk don't get that. Yeah. They don't get it. They're like, you don't need a coach. I'm like, no, I don't need a coach, but I want a coach. Like, you don't need that. You've got this, and it's like, no, I don't need it, but I want it. And that's the like we with Ready for Anything and what we do, we get people come in because they need it, But being brutally honest, the reason why folks stay about is because they want it. They don't need it. They're not like, do you need a coach? You know what I mean? You don't need it. You're like, like, if you look at, like, if you were to measure yourself up against, like, the general population, fitness, health, personal development, just where you're at, like, you're actually in, like, a top percentile. You don't need a coach, mate.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need a coach. You don't, like, but it's like, do you value, what is it you value? Do you value having someone to gain you perspective? Because it's like, it's, when you get to a point where you're doing things, it's like, if you want to be at the top, you need to do what the folk at the top are doing. That's it. Like, it's like, and you just, like, success leaves clues, man. Everyone's just doing it, and it's like, some folk are trying to bend the rules and do it their own way. Do you know what I mean? And then folk will argue and go, but this person does it without that. And I'm like, but would they be better if they had that? And it's like, the answer is yeah, they would be. Yeah. Like, I don't care what anyone says. Like, see, Caitlyn Jenner, formerly Bruce Jenner, right? He was a decathlon champion, right? Gold medalist.
Olympic, he went to Olympics.
Yeah, he was a gold medalist. Yeah. He was I think he was a reigning gold medalist, right? Decathlon, for anyone that doesn't know, is one of the hardest sports that you can do. Yeah. It's 10 disciplines. The average training volume for a decathlon athlete is 30 hours a week. Do you know he didn't have a coach?
He didn't?
He didn't have a coach. He done all the training himself. I watched the documentary about it and I couldn't believe it. See if he had a coach, would he have done better? Probably. It's not like it doesn't, like, but folk are like, yeah, you don't need to do that. It's like, no, like, do you want to do it? It's not, do you need to? Folk are always like, you need to. And it's like, we're in this, like, society now where everything's like, get to the problem, then sort it out. Well, look at the NHS. NHS is like a fucking safety net. It should be a prevention. The health service should be a prevention, not a safety net. Not like, oh, you've got cancer now. Like, folk go, oh, it's lifestyle. It's, it's 1 in 2 folk get cancer. It's like, 1 in 2 folk get cancer, but how you have lived the past 20 years is a massive reason why you've got cancer at this stage of your life. Not every single person. Folk will probably hear that and say, oh, you shouldn't be saying that. It's fucking true. Like, that, the reason why that's increasing, the reason why more folk are getting ill is because of the way folk are living. But it's like, because we live in this prevention, everything's like therapy. Yeah. Like, folk just think go to therapy because you're falling to pieces. Like, that shouldn't be. Therapy should be like, if you feel frustrated about something and you don't really understand something, you're going to explore. You're not going because you're like, oh, I'm struggling. Yeah, it's same with fitness. Everyone's like, oh, need a coach, man. Like, I'm losing my way a wee bit. And it's like, yeah, that's probably like the catchment net for a lot of people hiring help because it needs to come from a place of desperation. But what about the place of inspiration, then? Like, it doesn't have to be like, oh, I'm falling, my wheels are falling off right now, man. Like, why do you get an MOT every year in a car? Why do you get a service every year in your car? It's to prevent it from happening. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it's like, people just don't look at things like that. They look at everything as like last resort. You know what I mean? Like, coach. Because we get it with clients, like, and folk will be like, they're bamboozled, man. They're like, they've got a coach. And it's like, yeah, folk, even clients say it to me, like, you've got a coach? Yeah. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, because I don't think I could put in the training that John puts in for me. I think I'd be like, like, oh man, I don't know, like, oh, 2 hours on the bike again, man. Oh, I don't know, man. It takes the emotional bias out for me, and that's just training. Like, it's everything else that comes with that as well. But I think folk look at things wrong with like why you do things. So I think going back to another question was like, does it help? Like, it does help massively, yeah. It does. I think it gives you an unfair advantage over people that don't. Yeah.
I'm the exact same as you, where I always say I'll always have either a coach or a mentor of some sort. My whole first 2 years of coaching was on the side of PE teaching, and I didn't spend a penny of my coaching money on me. Yeah. Like, it was all on like courses, it was all on mentors, every single part of it, and it's made me such a better coach today and such a better person as well, because I invested all that back into like my knowledge and my education, and it's being able to have someone who is above you, thinking a certain way, that not above you as a person, but like knowledge wise, that knows certain things, or it's just throwaway comments, just do that. I had that in my coaching mentorship, where like so many challenges that I thought were massive challenges, big problems, and it was just like, I'll just do that. I'm like, oh yeah.
It's so simple, isn't it?
Yeah. So until someone kind of puts it in front of you, that you actually start to understand that it's not that big of an issue.
Yeah. It's mad, man. We're very complex, we're very simple, man. like very complex beings, but at the same time, like the stuff that we need to do is always right in front of us, man.
Yeah. I want to tap into something that I feel like I've learned a lot about yourself, Ailey, and now Carly, and that's from a nutrition standpoint. I thought I was pretty well versed in that. I probably am compared to like a normal population. However, what I've learned massively from you guys in terms of nutrition is you approach it a very different way, with relationship with food coming first.
Yeah.
And if you can dive a wee bit deeper into your thoughts around that, and how people can understand that better, rather than just, right, it's all about calories, macros here, this, that.
Yeah, because we've had quite a lot of conversations about that, haven't we? Because you were like constantly tracking and stuff like that, and ever since you've kind of came on board with Kristian, you've kind of thought like food is fuel, and you want to fuel your workouts. Doesn't necessarily need to be like down to a T in terms of macros, and you really kind of see like food as fuel, as I say. So how have you kind of came to that kind of conclusion?
I think the first thing to like just put folks' mind at ease with it is there was loads of folk in shape before they knew what calories were and tracking macros. There was loads of folk in shape and performing like athletes before that, right? So I think that's the first thing you need to put to rest, because the thing is now is that I'm not anti-tracking, by the way. Like, you need to know your numbers. You need to go through a period of time. But there comes a point, man, where like folk are becoming so data overwhelmed that you're missing the point of what you're actually trying to do here. And then people are overlooking actually things that are underlying. Like, the thing I've been talking about recently is, right, look at, like, this is nothing against, I'm not a parent, but this is nothing against parents, right? Look at a child crying, right? Child's crying, and you're like, what do I do here? And it's like, I give them some food, right? Now just imagine that in an instance. There's different levels to that. It could be like, for some parents that have got disordered eating relationships themselves, right? You are delusional to believe that you're not going to pass that on to your child, right? And it's you don't even know you've got them, right? And you're not overweight by accident, right? It's stuff that's it's food is like such a deep relationship, and folk aren't even acknowledging it. And let's imagine that sort of the kid that's crying, and every time they're upset, you give them a sweetie. You give them chocolate, right? And every time they're happy, you give them cake. Every time there's a celebration, you get out the food, you take them to their favourite place. Every time it's Saturday, so that what you're doing is you're building this like reward centre that you don't even realise is just getting stacked and stacked and stacked over time.
That's insane.
You don't even realise.
Never even thought about that.
You don't even realise it, right? And it's just getting stacked and stacked and stacked over time. And then when you're a grown adult and you go through a heartbreak for the first time, what do? You turn to food. What happens then? This starts to pile up. Then you become this person that's got low self-esteem, low self-worth. You don't really know who you are, the direction you're going. You become more and more lost. What's the one thing you always lean on?
Food.
It's food. Yeah. So it's like, and then folk are like, just need to track my calories. And I'm like, no, you don't. It's not just that. It's like, you need to do that. It will help, but like, you need to get to the points where that you need perspective on the thing that you go into. So it's like having an honest conversation, and that's that we have 3 pillars of the program, like performance, mindset, nutrition, and one of the pillars of nutrition is honesty and vulnerability, because people stay in the point because they're so ridiculed with guilt and shame, and those feelings are the worst feelings ever. So someone does have that binge eat, or they do have that thing, and what do they feel? They feel fucking terrible about themselves. They feel like they've let themselves down. They feel like they've let their coach down. They feel like they've let whoever else is down. Maybe they're doing a diet with their friend, and then they hide away, and then it just gets worse and worse and worse, and then it's such a complex thing, man. And people just like, they want it sorted out yesterday.
Yeah.
Like, with a coach, now I've done this coach and they gave me my macros and it didn't work, and it's like, you're making this, this is a really advanced thing. Like, you can make great progress quickly. By the way, I'm not trying to overcomplicate it, but it's a really big topic, man, and it's like, it's totally psychological, and like folk are just not really acknowledging like how deep rooted it is and what that does. But that reward centre is a big one, because like, let's say for example, you get like, because we all have a sort of what do you call it, disordered relationship with food. We all do. I grew up with one, and I definitely still have to think about it all the time. I always joke about having a wee fat guy inside me, and it's something that the more I've been in different environments and spaces, I've just grew as a person, and I'm able to maintain things. But I definitely found it a lot harder to manage like my body composition and my relationship with food in my early 20s. I didn't really know that. Like, I used to have a lot of compulsive eating tendencies. I used to have like, I would never class it as binge eating tendencies, but a lot of greed, because that was like ingrained into me to be, that's what you do. You always do this. Like, the big one as well is like, eat up all your food, you don't get your dessert.
Yeah.
Think about that. Like, what if you're not hungry?
Yeah.
You know what I'll say to your kids? Are you hungry? And I know that's not someone who might be watching this and you've not got kids and you don't get it, but you're ingraining things in that's just like mindlessly that you don't even realise, and there's no right or wrong way to do it. The right way to do it is like there's no way to fix it. Like everyone needs to take the ownership to actually go, oh, this is on me. And if I don't fix this, nobody else can fix it for me. And it is a shame when like we've coached some couples and stuff and folk that are friends, and the one way we've seen with relationships, especially we've trained probably like 10 couples now, and they've been in the program at the same time. And one of them might find it easier than not easier, but like less friction.
Yeah.
And then we'll be just explaining it's like, but they didn't get brought up the same way you did.
Yeah.
Like you might have came from a family that didn't exercise. They had a lot of ingrained behaviours when it came to food and how you ate. They might not have, right? So yeah, you're both a bit overweight right now, but why you're finding this a little bit harder is because you've got this reward centre in your brain that you need to rewire. And it's...
So say for example, right, you've got someone that comes on board and they've got those disordered kind of eating habits and tendencies, and they're kind of stuck in that way. How do you help them get out of that? Is it just like making them like aware of these things and allowing them to understand that that's the patterns that has kind of made them into the person they are in terms of like eating and stuff like that? Is that how you do it? To make them aware? So
just as full transparency, if anyone's got like disordered eating tendencies or they're showing something that's like well out with my grasp, I will always recommend they need to go and speak to like we had two sisters that joined the program last year, Zoe and Yaz, and they were speaking at the event, and they were very, very physically ill when they came into the program. We had to tell them to go to the hospital. We had to go, but they actually didn't get seen to for nearly 3 months. But they went through the net because it took that long for the NHS.
Yeah.
The work that they ended up doing with us, when they went back to the doctors, they were fucking mind blown. That like they were able to see that much change, because it's usually for a lot of people, especially depending on how disordered their eating tendencies are, it's usually a lot longer than that. It's a shift in identity, man. Like it's accepting it. Like folk try and fight it, and they try and like, for a lot of people, it's getting them to accept first where they're at. Like, because you can't make progress if you're not accepting where you're at. If you're in denial about something that you are not doing, you can't make progress because you're fucking denying it. Like you're trying to say it's not about that, and that's where so many folk go, it's just this. It's just portion control for me. It's just this. And you're like, and I'm not saying everyone's got this deep, twisted relationship with food, but like you can get folk, like a big one is like, how many folk consistently eat, right? How many folk do you get guys eat every 4 hours, and folk are like, oh, I don't do that. I'm like, yeah, that's why you're fucking hungry all the time, like, because you're not eating breakfast. It gets to fucking 1 o'clock and you want to eat your arm. You're then heading straight to the Vendy. You're then just scanning as much as you can, and that carries on into the night. And then you're eating literally like 1,500 calories in snacks and biscuits at night time because you're starving. I'm not surprised you're not hungry in the morning. Yeah. Your food is food. You need food to live, man. Yeah. Like what's the average amount of times you put something in your gub a day? 5 times, would you say? Probably 5 to 8 times a day. You probably put something in your gub. Yeah. Every day. How many days do you live? It's like that is you need to do that every day. You need it to live, and it's so hard for folk to like. But I always say it's like people try and make this really advanced thing so simple, but then the really complex stuff they make really simple, but then the really simple shit they make really complex. You're like, just do it for 30 days. They're like, I'm like, no, you're not. You're not doing it for 30 days. You're doing it for 5, and you're not doing it for 2. Do it for 30 days, and they're like, and I'm like, you're lying. Like, so you're lying about this thing that you need to do that's really simple, but then you're being dishonest. You're lying again about the thing that you're not actually acknowledging that's a lot deeper. Because folk want it to be a lot easier than it is, don't they? Yeah. They do. They want it to be. It's the same in business, man. Like, it's the same in like, I've worked in a mentorship before, and like I worked with a lot of business owners, and like folk are like going through it, and they're like maybe not getting the income they wanted. They're struggling. They've lost some clients. A few things have dropped. A few projects have fell through, and they're fucking squirming, man. And I'm like, this is where you're at, man. Like, you need to earn the right to not squirm. Like, you're squirming so much because this is where you're at, and then folk are like, I just need to do this, and I just need more leads. I just need this, and I'm like, nah, man. Like, you need to figure this shit out right now because you're a volatile mess. You know what I mean? Like, you're up and down like a yo-yo, and that's folk don't realise it's them. It's always you. It's like, and I get there's like parts that other things play in it, man. But it's funny, like, because when folk will reach out or whatever and they're talking, they're telling me that done this and they done that, I'm just sitting nodding away, and I'm like, we'll find it out. Like, we'll find you need to find out. I know what it is. You haven't acknowledged what it is yet. Like, and the folk are like, it's this or that, and it's this, and it's, you're like, all right.
It's always that. It's always like, it's this certain thing. Like, people think, oh, it must be that.
Snacking. Snacking, man.
Oh, it's just my snack. Nah, it's just night time.
Oh, for me, it's bread. Bread, man.
that bread, man?
You're like,
I can still have wraps, but it's bread.
But it's fucked up, man. It's like, it's the same in, like, imagine saying that. Imagine like the guys that, like Dale and Ryan, that own Sin, like this amazing facility, the team that you guys and stuff, and just being like, it's just our dumbbells. Yeah. That's why we're not getting new clients. Yeah, it's like, just like, you're like, what? Like, oh, that's why this has happened, or that's the racks. Yeah. It's the racks that'll do it. Like, we need to change those racks. Once we fixed it, that's it. It's like, fucking hell, man. It's like Stubbies of surface level. Yeah. Folk are just so like, but again, that's generational. That's passed on for parents. That's like, that thinking is also, it's not just the relationship with food, it's the relationship with how you see it. Yeah. Like, what it is, and it's staring right at you, but like, until you accept it, and that's, if someone goes through is it the 7 steps or something, when someone goes through A, yeah, and step 1's acceptance. Do you know what I mean? Like, you need, it's just, if anyone's trying to solve anything, you need to accept that you are where you are, and it's like, it applies to everything. Yeah. It's like, imagine someone in a construction site trying to solve like a engineering problem, and they were all talking about that it was something else. You wouldn't fix it. Yeah. They have to identify what is the problem. Yeah. And then they go, right, cool, that fucking crankshaft is too small there, we need to go and do that. Right, why did that happen? Well, actually, I didn't communicate it to this person. That they're not sitting there trying to make up. Well, there might be some folk on some sites, but it's like, it's an unproductive chat. It's not going to get them anywhere. Everything's just hearsay. Yeah. It's mad. See, if you really, like, if you want to get pure geeky with it, and you really wanted to go to the effort to do this, you could just get fucking ChatGPT to record a meeting that you're having, and ask it what are you displaying right now that's holding you back. Yeah. It'll tell you. It's terrifying. Do you know what I mean? You could literally get it to, like, I'm going to have a conversation with me and my mum right now. I want you to record it, and then after you can transcribe the full thing, chuck it into ChatGPT, and then ask it, where am I displaying a poor relationship with food right now? And it'll tell you. You know what I mean?
Seriously?
Yeah, it'll tell you. Yeah, just tell it. Ask it to be the best therapist in the world when it comes to, like, if you want to use a book as a frame or whatever, and it'll just tell you. It's mad. Like, it's like, everything's just becoming that now. It's going to get to a point where like we're just emotional, and we always try and make everything about a reason why it's not the way it is. Everyone's got an answer. Yeah. Like, so people go talk to me things sometimes, and they're like, and it was this and it was that, and I was looking at them, I'm like, what's the solution? Because it's unproductive just dwelling. Yeah. Dwelling is like unproductive. It's like, and that's, a lot of people don't realise is they're not making the progress because they're always getting caught up on things not going to plan. But that comes from, like, the reward centre, that comes from, like, the lack of ownership, that comes from, like, their parents have spent their entire life. Think about people who are getting to the point now where they believe that they have to get to a point where they have to get thing strapped around their tummy, a gastric band. Yeah. They believe that they have exhausted every avenue. That's what they believe. Yeah. It's fucking nuts. Like, that's not nuts that they've done that, because the way that they've been led to believe that. They've not done it like because they've been a dafty. They've done it because that's what they believe. Totally. It's mad. Crazy. Yeah. It's genuinely, like, unbelievable. Even just how much it's changed my thought process in the last 2 months, because, like, I knew that stuff, but, like, didn't almost implement it into my life, or even have thought about it a lot with clients. But it's massive, like 20, 30, 40 years probably of behaviours that you've been drilling in, and it's not just tracking your calories, it's not just this.
I think that's why it's so valuable to have, like, such a great coach with you, because they help you kind of realise these things. Like, you, as you say, you've been playing it about in your head and stuff like that, but you don't actually, you need that certain person that you respect to push you over the line with actually doing those actions and doing the things that person's telling you to do. Yeah. Obviously, talking about a great coach, I wanted to ask you, because obviously we know that you've got so much knowledge, you can already tell by this full podcast. What would you say it takes to be a good coach? This is kind of a personal question for me, of course, because I've not long started, probably about a year and a little bit as a coach, and I can already tell that you're a good one. Anton's told me so much about you, and I just wanted to kind of know, like, what would you say it takes to be a great one if someone was to come to you and ask that question?
Firstly, mate, I appreciate that. It's like nice compliment, mate. Thank you. I would say you just need to be obsessed with it, man. You need to dedicate your life to it. It's all I think about, man. Like, it's all I think about. All I think about is like Ready for Anything or brand coaching. And that is it, man. You need to just be obsessed with it. Like, the thing that Alex Hormozy said, and it really spoke to me, is like the thing that separates, like, it was athletes, and he was like saying that everyone says, what does that athlete have that you do not have? It's not what they have, what you don't have. It's you don't have what they don't have what you have. They don't have an off switch.
Yeah.
And that's what I've realised. I don't have an off switch. Like, I just don't, like, and it's like forward. And people like measure that up against things, and it's like, I've came to terms after 8 years of doing it. It's my life. It's how I want to live it. It's how I want to do it. And even I was in the gym yesterday, cycling the bike for a bit, and the guy sat next to me was 65 years old, and he was just chatting away, and he was just like he was talking about his life, and he was just talking about like where he's at, and he's got a grandchild in the way and stuff, and he was like asking what we were up to, and I was kind of telling him a wee bit about, like, we're going to America next week, and we're on a retreat in Cyprus, we're going to be out there, and then he was like, oh, you'll lose your waistline there when you stop your training. And I just was like, I won't stop training, mate.
Don't worry about me.
Yeah, don't worry about me, mate. Like I won't. And it's because that was his perception of what you do on a holiday.
Yeah.
And it's just not my perception of what you do on a holiday. You get me? Like,
Yeah.
it's like,
If you take a little look at that, that's again learned behaviour.
Learned behaviour. That's it. And it's like, so for me, it's like I fought with it for a long period of time. I felt bad for being obsessed. Then I realised it's my life.
Yeah.
Like, you have to like live it on your terms. And I struggled a lot with like really like not being present in things. Now I'm very present of it, but I've engineered my life in a way that like anyone that I am around, like obviously like my parents aren't coaches or anything like that, and like there's other people in my life that aren't coaches, but like it's people that all have similar values to me. And so therefore I can just be myself. You know what I mean? Like, I was actually saying, I put a voice note into the group yesterday, into our main channel with Ready for Anything. It was like, I'm just super grateful to have, I don't have a big circle of friends, but any friends that I do have, we're just all so happy for each other doing well. And we're all doing really well. And like, there's been so many different points in my life where I haven't had a circle like that, where I felt like I can't say to, like, see if you can't say to someone what you're happy about because you feel that they're going to fire a shot at you, they're not your friend.
Yeah.
Like, they're not, like, and it's, for me, like, being a great coach, I know that's a bit of a long-winded answer, is you just need to be obsessed with being a student. You know what I mean? You need to be, like, obsessed with, like, living it. And then for me, like, I think it's like I sometimes think, I'm like, when will I stop doing that? And I don't think I will. I don't think I'll stop doing that. I don't think I'll stop being that. I feel like I've acted the same since day one than I have now. I don't think, like, I still do long days. I still do, like, yeah, I've got a better balance and stuff, but my idea of balance has just changed. Do you know what I mean?
That's like a threshold for that kind of certain balance is kind of up and up and up.
It's definitely been a bit on the red line recently, man.
Zone 5.
Yeah, zone 5 in it for this year. When in April. Big run.
Yeah. I think that's massive, the whole engineering your own life. I think what I've noticed over the last couple of years is a lot of people think they don't have a choice, like, with their life, like with decisions that they make. Why do you think that is?
It's the story, man. It's just I always remember, like, people don't think, man. People don't think. They don't, like, I know that sounds mad, but people do not know that you're in control of your thoughts. Yeah. And I didn't for a long time, and most folk don't, and you're in full control of what you want to do. And it's like, I know that full chat about the Matrix, like escaping the Matrix. The Matrix for me isn't like just the 9 to 5. The Matrix is like the way of thinking, accepting that things are the way they are. Black is black and white is white. Now, I'm not saying black isn't black and white isn't white, but like, it's like, you can do whatever you want to do. If you don't want to do something, you don't need to do it. And if you want to pursue something, good. But I think when you do anything, you start to you realise the power of delayed gratification. You used to understand the power of doing things, and how they're going to pay off and what they're going to do, and you just embody fall in love with the process, isn't it, of doing it. Sometimes the process is tough though, man, do you know what I mean? And you question a lot of what you're doing and stuff, but
that's the times you kind of look back on, isn't it?
Yeah.
You kind of appreciate those times, because there's I went through the exact same kind of situation of like transitioning from something that I didn't like to doing what I absolutely love and my passion. And it does take so much. There's so many days where you're like, oh, I don't know if this is going to work out, I don't know if I made the right decision, but come to the point where you've tried that hard to get to where you want to be just now that you look back and like, it was all worth it.
Yeah.
You would do it over and over and over again.
I always say to folk, I'm like, as far as I'm aware, you're in this for the long haul. So why are you looking at this way, or why are you doing that, or why are you like, I get that you're frustrated about this right now or whatever, but like, are you going to quit? Like, you've not told me this right now. Are you thinking about considering quitting? And I'm like, no. I'm like, well, cool, let's crack on. This is what it looks like. Like, this is, Ailey, me and Ailey always say it, and Ailey says it a lot. It's like, this is what hard feels like.
Yeah.
People don't know what hard feels like. Everyone, and that's the thing about hard. People, the biggest misconception about hard is everyone's got an idea of what hard is until they feel it.
Yeah.
And they're like, no man, but like this happened. And I'm like, yeah, it's hard.
Like, that's why people like don't know how to get to like actual hard stuff. We were speaking about that in the coffee shop. Like, your body and your mind just wants you to be comfortable.
Yeah.
So that's why there's so many people that are kind of overweight, are kind of not doing what they want to do, because they're literally just kind of consumed by comfort.
That's it, man. It's easy to just cruise. I think now, like, we really observe this when we've been in like Bali and stuff. If you look at like, not for even from like a poverty standpoint, but like, imagine, call it like sort of, I don't know, like underdeveloped, like someone that's maybe not like in Bali, someone that's underdeveloped would be someone that's like, they maybe live in like a hut, or they haven't got any education, they've not got any money. Someone that's underdeveloped in the UK still has a good enough quality of life that they can tolerate it.
Yeah.
Like, they might not like it, and they might hate their job, but it's like, it pays them, it gets them by. Like, I was having a conversation with a guy recently, and he was just talking a lot about his life, and he was basically saying, he's like, I'm comfortably uncomfortable.
Yeah, we spoke about this on the podcast that Chris Williamson talks about. It's like the comfortably numb. So like, you've got a little tiny bit of mould on the walls in your room, but it's not that much to where you actually change it. You know, like I'm with this girl that like, she's a bit of a pain in the arse, but I can kind of stand her, and then that's why I don't break up with her. Things like that, you become comfortably numb to these things. Yeah, it's very like that in the West. There is people that live in poverty, and like they have really, I'm not taking away from that, it's folk that have really brutal upbringings and stuff, but like, for the lion's share of it, man, like, you could, like, even when I was in the Air Force, that was the same. That was like that sort of, well, I could just keep doing this, but then the life that it was giving me wasn't making me happy. Like, I was like in it, and I knew that I was capable to do other things and do more, but like, if I wanted to, I could have kept doing that. I would have had like accommodation sorted for cheap, like literally a good bunch of folk around me, like enough money to go on a couple of holidays every single year. Like, I think you can just stay the same very easily now if you want to. And I think like, when you start kind of living this sort of, because sometimes I do things and immediately question quite a lot, like, why are we doing that? That's why we said we're going to take a break from a few things and stuff, because like, it does get to the point where sometimes you do fly into that zone of like the red lining that we were joking about there, and it's been a bit like that recently, and that's because we travelled a lot, and then we ran the event, and then we hired Carly, and it's what happens. Sometimes you need to compromise things you value in times where you're growing. But like, you have to question sometimes, like, why am I engineering my life? You end up doing all the things that you think you're going to make you happy, then you do it, and then you end up actually creating a monster. The very thing that you thought would be good for you, and this is something we were chatting about yesterday in the podcast. You see it a lot with like people that are like composition athletes. Like, they end up actually hating themselves at the bit that they're at their best. They hate themselves. The bit that they think that everyone is like it's how hard a complex is that? Everyone's like, you look amazing right now, like, and they're like, I'm dying, like, I've got no fucking menstrual cycle, like, I'm crippled with insecurity right now, I've got the worst body dysmorphia ever, but everyone on the outside is going, like, cheering you on, because of where you're at the point. It's such a mad complex, man. Like, it's just that end bit, that extreme end, do you know what I mean? And it's like anything, it's the same with like high rocks athletes at the top. It's lonely, it's competitive, the self-doubt. If you want to go to the top, it's same in business. If you want to push to the top in that, it's fucking, you're above the clouds, man. Giving up happiness for that success.
It's
mad.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, that's unbelievable. I want to dive into what's next for you. What's next for Ready for Anything? You said that Ready for Anything is like everything for you. So you think about it a lot. It's your identity after all. what's next for Ready for Anything?
I think for us, man, is like we've obviously recently kind of committed to this nomad life. Like just find a bit of stability. It's been good. We've been on the move, but we're going to go back to Southeast Asia for a bit, and then just like can I actually just focus a bit on like obviously keep growing things and keep doing what we're doing, keep getting the results we're getting, keep building the brand and stuff, but like also just make sure that we're like living a life by design as well, man. We live a good life, but it's like it's very easy sometimes to let it consume you to the point where you're like, I need to make sure that that's why we're taking some time off this month as well. We're going to America for really doing the marathon, and then we're going to take like 8 days off, I think it is, man. So I'm looking forward to that, like just doing that, and then making sure that I'm doing that like twice a year. And then I don't mind working every day, that's the thing. Like I genuinely like doing it. I'm not like working I'm not doing fucking 14-hour days every day, do you know what I mean? Like, but like I love the life I live and I love what it allows me to do, but I just need to make sure for me, it's like I'm just making sure that like I'm literally it works for me. That's like a big thing for me this year, is just really making sure that it works for me. And then as well, man, just continue building the brand. Like I like the idea of like I want Ready for Anything to be a one-stop shop for folk that's like everything. Like I'd like to have a nutritionist in there eventually. I'd like to have a therapist in there eventually, so that like everyone has every resource. And I believe it's like nearly there. Like I believe it's like literally like it caters for everything. It's like I look at it as lifestyle and performance coaching. Yeah. And just build a team, man, and then just like eventually, we've been talking about this a lot, but in the next like 2 years, having like a HQ somewhere, whether that's like we run it for like it's like people can stay there, or people that we just love the idea of all these different places we've been to, like Bali, and then we've seen gyms in Dubai and stuff like that, and places. And I'm like, I'd love this like place that's like a HQ where we actually kind of set up shop, and then we stop there, and that's like our spot. But then like we can run it for retreats. We've got this big space. Folk can stay there. Like nomads can come and stay there and stuff as well. Digital nomads, and I just like the idea of doing something like that. But this year's just about growing, man, and then doing that. So I've been working with like it's funny because like last year was all about like training. This year was all about training, but like it's very much so like I probably got a bit more caught up in what I should be doing from a training standpoint last year. Whereas now I'm just like very much so like I'm still going to keep pushing that same intensity and tenacity, but like just like look at where I'm at and like what chapter I'm in. Like we've now got a team. We've actually got a team of 8 people now, believe it or not. Like we've obviously got me, Ailey, Carly, we've got a few folk in the background and stuff. I'm always conversing with so many folk. I've realised that like I need to really be protective of my bandwidth. Yeah. And like I'm also realising that like where I'm at, what phase of my life I'm in, what I'm focusing on. And it's like we were talking about earlier, I'm still pushing heights with fitness and stuff, but like just I don't need to do it at this. I feel like I've had a lot to prove to myself for the last few years, and I'm like, I don't need to prove anything else to myself. You know what I mean? I think my ego's probably driven a lot of it the last few years. Yeah. And now I'm just like, chill out, man. Like, fucking calm down. Like, but I'll still keep doing what I'm doing, but it's like from a different place. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care what anyone says. You have to do a lot of things for credibility. Like, why are you talking to me about this podcast right now? You're talking to me about things that I've done. Yeah. You probably realise is I don't fucking I don't wear them as a badge of honour. Like I do that. I'm proud of that in my leg, but like it's just things that you do. Like being the person's what you do in the day, how you live, what you accept, what you don't accept. It's not in the thing that you've done, and that's what I've really realised doing a lot of different things. It's like when that thing's gone, it just becomes like you were asking me. I couldn't even remember fucking. It's the name of the place. You know what I mean? Like I haven't swam in 2 years. If I was still hanging my hat up on that was what measured my success. I'm doing something wrong, man. Do you know what I mean? Like it's cool that you've done these things, and it does have a lot of like I think for me because we wanted to position ourselves as like a really good hybrid performance brand. Yeah. So I was like, right, I need to have ticked a few boxes. Like that was for me was a big thing, but now it's just I don't know. I'm just enjoying like just for personally like obviously the things that I set out there. Continue growing the brand, be in good spaces and environments that are going to enhance me. I really valued being in Bali for like 3 and a bit months there, and we're going to go back there again.
One of the best places
ever. So good, man. So that's the plans, man, and then probably in the next couple of years think about having kids. Yeah. And the thought of that like frightens me right now. Yeah. See, not even frighten me that I actually like see kids and I get that wee broody feeling, so that wee like sort of like I could have a wee girl, like I would really like that, like. But I'm like, they would have to have a childminder.
They'd have to hold up, they'd have to wait.
I'd be like, go and run. That's like, so that, like I've not engineered my life in a way right now where I don't think it would be fair. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So I think for me, it's like, right, how can we create some of that over the next couple of years? Stability.
Amazing. Well, massively appreciate you coming on. It's been amazing, so much value. Where can the listeners see a little bit more of you, hear a little bit more of you? I know you're pushing YouTube quite a lot just now, so can you direct us where people can find some more of you?
Yeah, so you can find me on kdh.readyforanything, Christian David Hill. I don't know why I've always done KDH. That was my Xbox name, KDH93. So I just kept it as that. It's like
that's your identity.
Yeah, it's part of my personality, man. Xbox name. But yeah, you can find me on Instagram, kdh.readyforanything. You can find the rest of the team on there as well. Carly.readyforanything, Ailey.readyforanything as well. And then on YouTube, you can find me the Kristian Hill. Kristian Hill. Christian with a K as well. If you didn't get it already with a KDH. So you can find me on there. And then all my links and stuff are in my bio and stuff in there. But yeah, thanks very much for having me on, guys. It's been awesome.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Yeah, man. It was awesome, man. Good. Awesome. We're going to train now.
Let's go train.